So welcome back to Wrench Ride and Repeat. Today we're actually going to do a little wrenching instead of mostly talking and walking around. And today we're going to use this special tool that I was talking about in my last video to remove this inner cam bearing. If you can zoom in on that a little bit. This tool seems pretty simple, and I wanted to make sure we had some content. And so we're going to see how this works. Wish me luck. In there. Okay. Get this guy back on here. All right. So this is a blind bearing, and what that means is there's no throughput to it. So you're not going to push the bearing out the other side. All right, it's just we're gonna tighten this up here on that face, nice and tight. And nice spin. There we go. And then we're going to take the big old wrench here and just draw this thing out. If I can get it to bite here. There we go. Get that tightened up against that bearing. And we're going to take our rod here. Maybe I should have put the rod in first. Huh? Let's see if she'll just grab. So we're in, it's nice and solid. I'm going to give this a crank, and then as this goes down, it's going to draw this out, right? And it's going to pull on those fingers, I can't open my hand like that, and pull that bearing out. And then we have the opposite tool to put it all in. So let's see what it does here. All right, nice and easy. You gotta feel it. If it starts to bind up or jam up, just stop what you're doing. And these are pretty fine threads on that shaft, so this might take a couple cranks. And hope I don't break the engine case while I'm doing this. So now, what we should do, if we were smarter bear about all this, all right, if you can get in there and look, I don't have a flashlight. You get in there and look, right here you can see the lip on that bearing where it's starting to come out. So nice and easy. That bearing's probably only, I don't know, 3/8 wide. So let's put this guy back on here and keep cranking down on it a little bit. This is a little tricky to get, there we go. I'll show you something else when we get this pulled out here. Get that guy in there. Okay, we're back tight. See, it's moving pretty smooth. It's not binding. It's not, I don't have to lean on it. You're just pulling a bearing. All right, so now I think I'm getting pretty close. So I want to start watching my tool because it'll fall and everything will go with it. I think I may need another wrench. Oh, very easy now. It's coming out very easy. One more turn, maybe? All right, let's see. Oh, so close. So that's a very fine process to pull that sucker out of there. But it's going, so we'll just keep on going. I think a handful more turns. Oh, that's what I want to show you. This tool is double-ended, so you can see in there how it's got a lip, right? It fits down in there. That's so your bearing, pulls into that cup. That side's just your threaded, or your blank side. So that goes out, right? Your cup goes into your bearing, so that fits over the bearing. Then we put our washer on, get this nut started again. A lot further this time, huh? All right, we're back to tight. So, anybody want to take a guess on how many turns we're going to do here? I'm going to say that was 1 turn, we'll say. Oh, that's pretty loose now. Am I turning the rod? See, I'm turning the rod. So now I need, oh boy, what do I have? Yeah. Okay, so the shaft is spinning, so I needed to get a 5/8 inch wrench, right, to hold that sucker while I continue to drive that. And there we go. Okay, awesome. So pull this out. You can see there's no bearing in there. And if you look in there real deep, you can see where that lip is. And that's why it's a blind bearing. And you can't push it out from the other side or anything like that. So let's take the tool down here. Washer off. Big piece off. And there's your bearing. Lickety split, right? Tool works great. It's the first time I've used it here. And by the looks of that bearing, I don't see any numbers on it. Drag here. It's getting replaced regardless. So when you do stuff like this, if you know, I know it's hard to afford sometimes, but when you get into this case and you don't know how many miles are on this engine, your best to do is inspect your breather. Okay, that's your breather valve. And just go ahead and change this bearing, because the stock bearings in Harleys were, oh, I forget the name of them, but they weren't dependable. And if you lose that little roller bearing, all those little jobbers into your gear case, you're done. You're going to blow a lifter, you're going to break the engine case, whatever. So change a bearing every time. It's that simple. And put the new bearing in and then new lifters. And I'll make another video when we do lifters, maybe tomorrow. There's a special way you got to do hydraulic lifters. So that's it for now. Thanks for joining me. If you like this video, like and subscribe, and share it with friends and family. Thank you. Cut.